Hello and welcome to the Real Exes of Portland podcast, coming to you from Portland, Oregon. I'm Heather.
I'm Sofie.
And I'm Amy.
And we are real women, real friends with real stories.
That are super juicy.
And I might add, real boobs. And we would love for you to follow us on Instagram at The Real Exes Portland. And we will be hanging out with you guys every Wednesday afternoon.
And you know what Wednesday is?
Wine Wednesday.
Cheers.
Well, good afternoon and welcome back to the Real Exes of Portland podcast. We are so happy that you've returned to listen to our sultry lady voices. And all three of us are here today on this lovely sunny Wine Wednesday in Portland, Oregon. So raise a glass.
Cheers.
Oh, drink. Forgot. Now today,
but it's also Amy's birthday weekend.
let me back up. Rewind. Now, we have to.
I don't know how to go backwards.
Sophie's little gesture is quite cute. How to reverse. Just put our badonkadonks out and beep. I need a backup beeper. Me. Okay. Now, we are celebrating today. Anytime it's one of our birthdays, it lasts all week, not just one day.
For me, it's a month.
I love it. I love birthday month. Nice.
Just
That's
warning
right.
you guys.
So today we are celebrating Amy's birthday, and we have a cute banner up that says happy birthday, and we took some photos earlier. Now she's not wearing it. Maybe just put this on briefly for the camera.
Because it is like...
It's
I was actually looking for a Canadian
I
flag
love
because
it.
your birthday is on Canada's birthday too.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's
But
true.
you're just not as old as Canada.
Oh.
Thank God. Thank God.
so we're
Maybe I feel
celebrating
like it though.
But we got our little American flag.
in a muffin, in the muff. There's a flag in the muff. That's how we roll on this podcast. We talk about muffs. We talk about boobs. We talk about
Everything in between.
And everything
there
in
we go,
between.
and everything in between. So we are celebrating. Now, what is today? July
1st was her
Well,
birthday.
Her birthday was July 1st. But along these lines, that means we're celebrating Amy's birthday, America's birthday, Canada's birthday, and
Yeah.
A month till we celebrate my birthday.
oh shit.
Oh no.
Start
There's the
celebrating.
prep.
There she
There's
goes
the prep.
again.
Yep.
August 1st to the 31st.
Good
Be
Lord.
ready, people.
Now you pipe down over there. We're going to celebrate you in the month of August. Don't worry. So, shoot, I had something else. There goes my menopause brain. It left. It was
left-
here
left
and then
the
it
building.
left. But, so yeah, we're just here celebrating today and having some wine, and it works out perfect because since we're celebrating Amy's birthday, it makes sense that she be the one in the hot seat today. And we're going to let her flap her jaws at us. Chat. We might give her a hard time along the way,
That's
ask a
okay.
few questions, but
What's new? No.
oh, I know, right? I'm always over talking everyone. I need to pipe down.
Oh, it's not the over. You're not over talking.
Oh, really?
No.
I feel like I interrupt and ask too many questions.
I get a little bit on the crude side, and you follow along. Or
I do follow.
you. I
We,
don't know who
we
goes
feed
first.
off
Yeah.
one another.
Yeah, and we make Amy laugh.
Yeah, it's true. Because I couldn't come up with this own. I couldn't come up with it myself. So y'all got to do it for me.
We have a very good mix here. The
do.
dynamic works well.
Yeah.
So,
We do.
all right, Amy, take it away,
right.
girlfriend.
Well, I think because the two of you have already talked about your hormone journey, or at least the start of it.
Right.
It is mine, and I'm pretty new into it. So
She's the baby in the group.
I am the baby, literally, in the group. let's see. I will have to say, though, even though I'm at the beginning, I have been talking and have known about kind of hormonal steps for several years. It all happened during like infertility years and stuff. You learn about hormones right away. Mm-hmm. So, but I would say that perimenopause started more for me in my late 30s. I have always had really weird hormones, really irregular cycles, and I had a hysterectomy a couple years ago due to really bad endometriosis.
So in the hysterectomy, so they just took out the uterus? Is that what they take out?
Okay. It can be. Yeah, okay. But it wasn't in my case. So about 9 or 10 years ago, I had my right ovary removed and both my fallopian tubes. And the reason for that is ovarian cancer actually starts in the fallopian tubes. So I was already having horrible missed cycles, and my endocrinologist, who's a reproductive endocrinologist, he helped me have the kids and such. I saw him for like, I don't know, probably 14 years. He had an exam. It had been years since I had seen him, and I just was having complications with my right ovary, which had been an ovary I'd had issues since I was 16. And it would hurt so bad, like I would throw up for days, had no energy, couldn't work out, couldn't like do very much to hang out with my little toddlers at the time. And so that particular doctor said, well, are you done having kids? And I was like, yes. Mm-hmm. And he said, well, I think your endometriosis might be back, which usually a lot of times with endometriosis, it's when the lining that is supposed to be inside of your uterus actually starts growing on the outside of your uterus. Oh, and it literally will branch. It kind of looks like veins or branches of a tree, and it will connect your inside organs to your uterus, like the vaginal lining, and it's extremely uncomfortable. And a lot of times doctors will say, oh, you'll have endometriosis. We'll clean it out with simple surgery, and then it will be gone. But mine wasn't like that. It would come back like every couple of years. So I had about eight or 9 surgeries to clean it out.
Oh my God. Yeah. So explain to me, and maybe I'm thinking biology. Mm-hmm. I thought the fallopian tubes were attached to your ovaries, and then the eggs dropped, and then the fallopian tubes brought it to your uterus. Correct. So if they remove 2 of the, what is your ovary sitting on or hanging off to? Or where is it?
Your ovary is, I believe, is floating around.
Free floating?
Yeah.
Oh, but I know it's free.
Right, even now, I only have, after everything's been removed, I have 1 ovary, and it's just like floating around in there.
And it still has,
active. Yep. It's still active hormone. It's still, like I could still have PCOS, which is a very common thing. I have a sibling who has it, but PCOS. Yeah, polycystic. Polycystic ovarian syndrome. And when I got tested for it, it's a glucose test. It's like a 3.5 hour glucose test, and you have to fast. Then they check it. You have to drink the glucose, then go back to the lab in 3 hours, and then they check your levels to see if you have if you're insulin resistant. If you're insulin resistant, then they might try medication or a natural remedy. Sometimes you can't lose weight.
So you have to see a doctor for that. These are all things you can't self-diagnose.
Correct.
Okay, I was just wondering because I was like, okay, so where's your ovary? Is it floating around?
Yeah.
Is it?
I know mine right now is just floating around in there. So
Wow.
I did not know that was even possible. That's
I
that's
know, neither did I.
interesting.
Yeah, I was like, when you said, I was like, oh, where is
yeah,
it
where
attached?
yeah. And what I will say is you guys have met me since some of the issues I had. But when that right ovary, so my surgeon went in, took the fallopian tubes out, and then he said, hey, regardless of what that ovary looks like, do you want me to remove it? And I said, I trust you. Yes, if it looks bad or whatever. Well, he removed it and he said it looked perfect on the outside. But of course, perfect doesn't necessarily mean anything. He took it out, and I'm not joking, no pain. I went from having horrible, 10 plus pain every day to no pain. I also had struggled with horrible cystic acne from the moment I got my first zit or pimple to that surgery, and all of my acne went away after that surgery. All of it.
Dude.
I get maybe one a year.
Oh my.
It all went away with that when that ovary was removed.
I used to get a lot of those. Those are really painful.
Me too. Cystic. I had cystic acne also.
And
and you can't pop them. I mean, it's like this
painful.
nodule, like a rock, kind of under the skin. And
I went under Accutane for
I
off
remember
and on
that
for
one.
years.
That was
and
kind
all
of a
those
dangerous
retinol.
one too. Yeah.
And it would just come back, but no joke. All the acne went away after that ovary was
acne
removed.
is totally hormonally related. Well, that's because some girls they put on birth control. Supposed to help acne, and birth control is hormone related, so that makes sense. Yeah.
So, so those were removed about 10 years ago, 10 years ago. And then my hysterectomy, which was my uterus and my cervix.
No, wait. What else? No, that's...
it was uterus. Oh, no. Cervix. Yes, uterus and cervix was removed. You can actually have your vagina removed.
What?
Not the actual outside, but all the internal workings on the inside removed. And that was all fine for me. So I still have that intact. But
But
yeah,
what happens? What happens if you lose all that? Does it?
Well, hormones can obviously change. You can have all of your ovaries removed, and then you would definitely go on hormone therapy. But I still have that left ovary floating around in there, and they want to keep it in. If they can prolong you from going into menopause right away,
You want to prolong that bitch.
Oh
I'm
my
telling
God.
you.
Yeah, she is a bitch. She's an asshole. I've just about had it. My brain's been an asshole lately too. Let's just throw that in there. My hoo-ha's a little bitch and my brain's an asshole. God damn it.
Sorry. No.
Okay,
it's
I'm
true. No. It's
Sorry,
true.
this is Amy's
No.
podcast and I am popping off over here.
No, you're fine.
One of those days in case you couldn't tell.
It is for us. No, so
Carry on.
the surgery went well. Everything was fine. He did find something called adenomyosis, which is inflammation in the uterus. You can't get you can
It's not funny.
No.
I'm laughing, but I'm not laughing at that.
No, I know.
It's not funny. I'm sorry.
It's
I'm going to have to leave the classroom.
You're going to have to sit in the corner, wear a hat. Oh, you already got a hat on.
you have a hat on. This is perfect. So, and she has a chair over there in the corner.
It actually looks more comfortable than the one I'm sitting in right now.
Right. No, it's all good. All good. So,
Amy, I'm sorry. I cannot take you seriously.
Oh,
Yes, I am
would've been happy
cracking
to
my
put that
ass
down
up
a
with
while ago.
This
so good of
headpiece
you.
that she's. I mean, it's like she has these red, white, and blue pigtails.
I do.
You look
cracking
like from the
me.
Muppets.
I
What's her
felt
name,
like I
the
was
little
like
one?
7. You know,
You know
It
what?
actually is cute, but I keep looking at you and I'm laughing. Okay.
she can't take me seriously.
She's only talking about her hoo-ha
Oh man.
and all the innards.
And the innards, yeah. So anyway,
Leonard Skinner's innards.
no, you're fine. So the surgery, everything went well, but for me, after surgery, I actually had lost some weight and I was feeling good. I went from still having some pain and discomfort and not regular cycles either. So I never knew when I was going to have a cycle, and it could miss like for 4 months. But then I had all the symptoms. So when the surgery was done, I was feeling good. I'd had a family member we had it about a month apart, and she was having a harder time recovering. And I felt great. And my mom and I kept talking because my mom had one when she was younger. And I was thinking, this is amazing. I'm going to feel phenomenal, because I feel phenomenal now. And then I just tanked.
Oh, no.
It was probably about 6 months after. And part of that is when you have any kind of major surgery like that, your organs kind of go into this shock. Mm-hmm. And I actually felt good under that shock, so to speak, feeling. And then when everything was working properly, I didn't feel so good. So, and I don't know if that was, there's speculation it could be hormonal related. There could be lots of different pieces about what that actually is. And so I was hoping my headaches and my migraines would go away, but they didn't. And so for me, I just felt the typical tired, fatigued, can't concentrate, which I already have ADD, and I've known that for many years. And I've made peace with all of that and what that means for me in my life. So, a degree could have either been my ADD got worse, because of course hormones affect everything that we do,
including everything in your brain.
And everything in your brain. And then, as you guys all know, and you've probably heard by now, but then I have a brain injury. So now it could be ADD, it could be hormones, or it could be the brain injury. And so a lot of symptoms were hiding other symptoms. And it was just a gamut of mess. And so I had wanted to see the hormone specialist sooner, but just needed to focus on brain health first.
Yeah.
And
that kind of set you back a lot.
That set me back a lot. And
you're going to hit the 1 year.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah.
Gosh.
And then in order to feel good, you need to feel good to start a new path of feeling good in another area. And so I needed to make sure my head was well. And so I had my hysterectomy at the Pearl Women's Clinic in Portland. And so I knew the surgeon there. He had 3 women who focused on naturopathic, holistic care, which I love. I think there's room for both, but I love the holistic approach, especially for him. If you didn't have a history like mine, he would have you come in and see one of his specialists first, get history and blah, 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 and then hopefully get treatment from them, not immediate surgery, but different scenario for me. And so I actually made my hormone appointment in December, because we were talking about this. I made it in December, and sickness, and I had to cancel.
Oh, I think you had COVID.
Oh, yeah, I did have COVID right after Christmas. That was great. Yeah, fun times, huh?
Not.
And so I just saw my hormone specialist, Brittany Allen, in 2 weeks ago. I want to say about 2 weeks ago. She, we talked about hormones. She did my labs, which was great. And my labs for me, when you've had endometriosis or you've had a hysterectomy, a lot of times you can be completely low or super high in estrogen, especially if you've had endometriosis. And my mom was swearing. She was like, you have to have like horribly high estrogen. She's just waiting. And then I told her, I was like, actually, my estrogen's perfect, which normally doesn't happen in our kind of family history. But my testosterone was pretty low.
What was it at? Do you remember?
I don't actually. I looked it up to come here, but I think I got distracted. Which
Imagine
again,
that.
hormones. And
Look
so
at her.
I know exactly.
Where's that coming
She
from?
did say, I do remember. She said, "You're right in the middle of what is the numbers called when they can tell whether you're like kind of smack dab in the middle of perimenopause or you've passed over."
Oh yeah, when's
I can't remember what that's called.
I don't remember. I have to look at my test results.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah.
I know mine was 8 and mine was post-menopause. Like I was already in menopause. Yeah.
Okay.
So you were just a little bit above that.
So I'm still in perimenopause.
Oh, perimenopause, yeah.
Yeah, but towards on the other side. So
I think my number was in the low 40s, which she said I'm in the beginnings of
menopause.
Yeah, mine was
menopause.
8.
Yeah, that's.
So
I
is
remember
it-
you saying that.
I can't remember. We've talked about this before, not necessarily
Now
on
mine's
the
in the
podcast.
hundreds.
Obviously, we are not medical professionals.
No, don't. Well,
We're
and
quotas.
this is it. Is we're all
Yep.
kind of smack dab somewhere in this process, and we all forget things. So when all three of us forgot things,
Didn't you say?
yeah, exactly.
You said that.
It's true. It's true.
We're just all going.
I never said that. Whoops. I never said that. I almost knocked over my microphone right there. Whoopsie.
It's true. I can't remember where I am in the spectrum, but somewhere. Somewhere.
Even where you are physically. No, just kidding. Where are we recording today?
And so that was pretty much the only thing other than vitamin D, which I think just about every woman who lives in Oregon and child is low or deficient in vitamin D.
Yeah.
So, and I'm always,
Yep.
I mean, you guys can testify, and most people who know me, I'm usually in jeans and a sweatshirt. So clearly sun is not getting through. So
You have a darling little tank top sundress on
do,
today, though.
I
So
do. I'm trying.
need to get-
I'm trying.
after this,
I
you
almost brought a sweater today, but I was
Oh.
like, nope, don't do it because you'll wear the sweater all day and then you can't get natural vitamin D. So I'm trying. So anyway, I had my lab work done. Labs were good. Everything was fine. Then I went back in and had my first annual after my hysterectomy. You still actually should have those, according to my specialist. And so just to make sure everything's healed
Your
okay.
beloved annual exam where you had to open up your hoo-ha.
Yeah. I would have.
I know. The doors creak open.
It's true.
Stop.
I know. Animals are so uncomfortable.
They are. I hate it. Oh my gosh. I know. I don't know.
Yeah.
But the thing is we all have to do it, and we've been
Yeah.
It doesn't
we've
bother
been
me.
going through it. She actually likes it. I
As
think.
long as
No,
it's
just
not
kidding.
cold, there's some doctors that
Oh,
actually
yeah.
have it
Cold.
up.
Cold.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
do. Yeah.
Which is nice.
Yeah, and
no,
then the
it's
light
true.
they shine down there is usually pretty warm.
And they're breathing. They're so close.
Here, let me blow on. Oh, jeez.
No, she was quick. It was good. She knew. She knew. She was
Yep.
like, "These aren't
Efficient.
fun.
Yeah.
Let's get it done."
And I would agree. Most GYNs I've ever
Yeah.
been to,
Except
they're-
the men. They like to talk.
They take their time.
Yeah. I
Right? They're talking to the nurses in the office there with you, and they're like, "Yeah, did you do this?"
So
And
I
can you
went golfing last night and I hit a par. Okay, dude, seriously, let's keep going.
Let's get this over. A small little side note. I had my mammogram recently.
Oh yeah.
And I have had male technicians and female technicians.
I've never had a male mammographer. Is that how you say
Well,
it? Mammographer?
No, I didn't have it. No, I had my mammogram. I had the ultrasound technician. And I've seen actually several men ultrasound technicians.
I've had that, yeah.
And so the last year was a male, and this time I had a female, and actually been several years since I had a female. So for me, the mammogram part is not that bad. I mean, it's uncomfortable, but nothing like having like cystic boobs or, cysts inside boobs where they take the ultrasound and they have to purposefully
dig in. And then it's like lump after lump after lump after lump. It was an hour of the ultrasound. I was like, I'll do a mammogram any day of the week. Oh, yeah. But an ultrasound's so painful. But the female, she just went in there and did her little job, but she was kind of chatty, whereas like the guys, they just want to get their job done. They're like, and not look in the eyes. Don't look in the eyes. Don't look in the eyes.
Yeah. She would actually, the guys don't say anything about, oh, you could keep your eyes open or you could do whatever. She was like, hey, you could close your eyes. You could look at this screen. You could do whatever you want. But those guys, they want to get you in and get you out. But not her.
Chop.
Yep, chop. Exactly. Chop. So I will have to say
that would be pretty creepy, right?
That the ultrasound is more painful than a annual exam for me.
Are you gonna say?
You're like no.
No, I thought she was gonna say.
It doesn't bother. None of this bothers me.
The annual.
The
annual.
They don't go in the annual. They don't go down. Luckily, that exam.
Yeah.
Your colonoscopy.
Oh,
yeah,
no.
50.
Oh, that's going to be another.
Did
you do 50?
I did.
Yeah, I did mine too.
Okay, well, mine.
You've had
39.
Wait,
30. 40. I had mine at 40. Oh. Because it's 10 years below the person in your family who needed one. Unfortunately, in our family, most of the family members have a polyp. So it's 10 years minus the youngest person.
Oh,
so if the youngest person was, 28, then you would get one at 18.
Right.
And and I was several years overdue. I hadn't done it yet. My other siblings had.
It's one of those things everyone seems to put off as long as they possibly can.
It's the colonoscopy piece itself to me, not a big deal.
No,
drinking that shit.
That's the prep is really bad part.
Yeah, I did it. I didn't have much problem. I don't know. I did not fine. You know what? I have installed a little bidet in my toilet. So
you got one of those.
Huge difference.
Yeah. I had a 4-day one. Like I did
4 days.
Yeah, I did
over 24 hours.
Yeah.
No, a 4-day liquid diet. Yeah, 4-day liquid, and then the gallon. Did you have to drink the gallon crap?
Yeah,
no, I've heard about that stuff.
I think they changed it over the last year.
It was a little bottle and a whole gallon.
I've heard that's horrible.
No, it's not like that.
Awful.
It wasn't. I don't recall it being that bad. Everyone's like, "Oh, it's so bad. It's so bad." And
I just had pills, and then I had to drink X number of liters of water or something like that.
Yeah. I know, like a girlfriend of mine, she did it like more holistically, so she had a bunch of pills that she took too. I just went to Providence because we all went to Providence, I think, and we pretty much all had the same process. So at least I had siblings set me up. Like you should drink, you should have these, things to suck on to get the salty taste out of your mouth when you drink this stuff. And they'd had multiples, so. Yeah, colonoscopies, mammograms, ultrasounds, annuals. It's a fun time getting older.
So invasive. Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
but,
I think of it as like when we're having babies and you're prepping to have children. We kind of did the same thing, but we were young and we were naive.
No. Yeah,
I wasn't.
Well,
I was old. I was 40.
She's like,
I was like, okay, you want to go up there again?
I'm back.
I remember my ex, like when we got the 3D ultrasound, he's like, okay, the baby kind of looks like your fertility doctor. Maybe he switched it.
The milkman's baby.
The milkman.
The baby looks like the doctor. What's going on here?
It was Dr. Smeichel. He was really nice in San Francisco, but he's this very tall, handsome black man. So.
That's why I looked at him.
He's like, I think it looks like him.
Oh, that's funny.
My dad made a similar comment. Thank goodness he was like, oh, hypothetically, I could say this. My mom and I were like, you can't say that. But saw a fertility specialist too. And just with Ethan and Caleb, Isabel got pregnant on birth control. What do you know? But my dad was friends with my doctor, and he was also a client of my dad's. And so
That's awkward.
yeah, when I mean, I don't care about any of that stuff, but my dad was like pretending. He'd be like, "Oh, this is the man who got my daughter pregnant." And we were like, "No, you can't say it that way.
Oh, that's so funny.
That's not okay." And my doctor has the driest sense of humor I've ever. I mean, he barely. He smiles, but that's about it. Yeah. I mean, no sense of humor at all. You wouldn't have thought it was funny.
Well, it was funny because when I went back to San Francisco a couple of years ago, and we were driving by on California Street, going back up towards our old neighborhood, and I was like, "Oh, Kyle, I was going to tell him we're conceived right there, turkey baster." Oh.
Yeah. You were like, "Mom, no."
I don't want to know. La 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 la.
Exactly. La, 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 la.
He was probably only 7 at the time, but yeah, I traumatized him. No, I didn't. I don't think I told him. I did tell him recently, but he's like, "What?"
Yeah. What?
I'm like,
How does that?
what did Dad do?
Yeah.
Not much.
What was his part in this?
It was 100% me.
Oh, boy.
Maybe a tinge of the doctor. Maybe.
Oh.
No. Assistance.
Well, so now after all of the
Stuff.
tests and
Yep,
the
the
exams,
So everything came out that I just needed the testosterone. Oh, and progesterone. I'm taking progesterone even though I'm actually okay overall on progesterone because for me, and I had never heard this before, progesterone can be used for sleep. And I was having sleep issues. And literally, I take it every night, so it's in my
Sophie
system.
and I, our jaws are hanging open. I'm having a ding, ding, ding moment.
But
yeah.
the progesterone works. I can't take melatonin. It does something to my head, makes me feel really awful. And it actually makes my headaches worse the next day.
Do not want that.
And we've talked about like Dr. Amen and a lot of stuff. You know, when you produce melatonin, if you are taking melatonin over what you're producing, it's so not good for you. So it does give you gnarly side effects, and I have gnarly side effects. So,
And can you get over-the-counter progesterone, or you have to get the...
yeah, no, mine's a prescription. So.
Yeah, I was going to say mine's a prescription too.
Is yours a patch or a pill?
No, it's a pill. And she did, the reason I'll talk about this on my next podcast, but she being the doctor told me she wrote me a prescription and said to keep it on my nightstand and take one every night when I go to bed. And I just thought it was more like to remember to take it, but it makes sense if it helps with sleep to keep it on your nightstand and take it when you go to bed.
Are you sleeping better?
Yeah, I am actually. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would for those who, don't sleep very well, probably need to get their hormones checked. I feel like the progesterone, I don't have any side effects.
No, I don't think
I can
so
sometimes
either.
wake up earlier than I could before. And I'm not really, anybody who knows me, I'm not really a morning person on purpose. I mean, I get up in the morning, but not late. But I've woken up at 6:37. But if I can sleep a solid 6-7 hours, I'm good to go. But it really helps. I take it about an hour before I have to go to bed, or I'm going to go to bed. Might read or play a little game, and then I conk out. I can't even tell you how many times I've been on my phone, maybe texting with the kids, and I've woken up with my phone like on my face because I have conked out. I've conked out. Yeah. So I would. That's good. You should.
But
check
I
that
agree.
out.
I tend to wake up earlier than I would like to, though.
Yeah.
Like usually around the 4 o'clock hour, and then the 5 o'clock hour, and then the 6 o'clock hour. I mean, I'll go back to sleep, but I feel like it's heavy. Go to sleep easy, heavy sleep, and from like 11 o'clock, 10 or 11 o'clock, and then it starts, waking up like around 4 or 5 o'clock, and that's frustrating. So,
I wonder if you took 2, because I know some people can take 2. She told me I could take 2 if I wanted to.
It?
No, because I'm doing well on
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
But if you took two, would it either make you sleep harder in those first several hours?
Yeah, really.
Or
And still
would
wake
it-
up early,
Yeah,
or-
or would it sustain you longer? I don't know.
I'll have to
but you
ask
should
at my next follow-up. Thank you for that tip.
Because, it would be too much. So I take the progesterone
Yeah.
most nights.
Okay.
And then I just got the
Wait, I'm sorry. Do you know what the milligrams is on your progesterone?
the 100.
That's what mine
Yeah.
is too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the 100.
Okay,
So,
good. Check.
the
Sofie, you need to get.
yeah, I know. We're like, we're both looking at her. So I just started taking the testosterone. I'm taking mine in the dissolvable under your tongue form.
Mm-hmm.
And I will do that for a few months until I can save up money to do the pellet. Because right now I'm so excited. I'm really hoping the testosterone will work. So it's like I'm putting it where I would have to basically trip over it to get to it. But I do know me, and things will get comfortable, and then I might forget to take it. So I feel like the pellet long term would be good for me.
Yeah.
So she's hoping the testosterone will help me with the energy level, focus and concentration. For me, I can eat, not eat, and still weigh the same. I can exercise and lose some weight, but then it comes right back. And I've stayed consistent the last 2 years. I'm the same number, just like a 2 or 3 pound difference. And it doesn't matter what I do. And she believes that's the testosterone issue.
Really?
Yeah. And the vitamin D issue. Because long-term, real deficient vitamin D, which I have struggled with this for a long, long time, can actually help keep weight on your belly. So with
Really?
long-term vitamin D.
Really?
Yeah.
I wonder what that is. I wonder if it's to keep you warm or something, because the vitamin D is sun and...
Yeah,
I
I
wonder
read,
why.
she gave me information on it, and I can't remember all the antics about it, but,
I'm just
or
guessing.
I read it somewhere, I can't remember. But we did talk about the weight issue. She said the vitamin D. I think she told me it, and then I researched it. But the testosterone, for sure, she said, get it into your system, do what you're doing now, and then start to increase it as you feel better. And then it's supposed to help. Either A, will help me feel good enough and give me the energy to work out longer or work out more efficiently. But for her, she was like, I told her I was walking, and she said, just keep walking and do it. Likelihood is that you'll feel better, so you could do it more consistently. And overall, it will help you shed the weight and then build better muscle than before. So that's what I'm hoping.
Yay.
That's awesome.
Wow. And so that actually turned out to be good news. I mean, like, it's
Yeah.
easy. Like, you only have
Yeah. I mean, it's not, I mean,
one supplement, basically.
yeah, overall,
Or,
I mean, just
well, from this last...
I had the progesterone, the vitamin, and the testosterone, but I mean, all very manageable things.
Yeah, right.
And you're not full on perimenopause yet.
I'm in perimenopause.
Oh, you are? Okay.
Yes, I am in perimenopause. Yep.
Okay.
Just haven't gone over that hump yet. But yeah, I feel like maybe my hormones might be more balanced than they probably ever have been. Because when you have endometriosis and, like, especially fertility or infertility, they're constantly checking your hormones, and mine were all over the place for years and years and years. So I actually feel I've only been on the stuff for a couple of days now, and I feel more alert and a little bit more awake and just maybe feel a little bit more myself. Could be because I'm having a good day. It could be, it could be something else. We'll see in a few weeks, but yeah.
That's awesome.
Oh, I'm so glad.
I'm glad that we all kind of got in at the same time. So, like, as we're talking about it, we can kind of relate to each other's stories and where we're going through. And, what works for one person, somebody may not know, and so we can share information and stuff. So
and we've all kind of seen different types of doctors, or we're not.
Oh yeah.
We're not seeing the same.
Yeah.
type. We have
that's
different.
right.
We have different. Because I go to the.
The
regenerative spa, medical spa.
Yep.
And but I do have an OB, and I talked to her. She wasn't a big fan of the pellet, but I don't know. I just I think we all have our own, and I think it's really important to kind of find what works for you.
Yeah.
And if you're not getting the answers, because I know sometimes.
Yes.
I mean, my OB didn't want to get my even my hormones checked, because she goes, "Oh, every day it changes." Well, yeah, but there's something messed up here. Like something's going wrong. So get heard. Make sure
exactly. Get second opinion.
Make
try
sure
a different type, a specialist. Because I agree. Same like your little remark, Sofie. Similar. I feel like I started having issues many years ago, and they would just be like, "Oh, you're too young."
Yeah.
Like,
I
no,
hate that.
you're fine. No, we're not even
so
going to
bad.
test anything. There's no way you're having any issues. You're too young.
Yeah.
So
I call bullshit.
Yeah.
thank you.
Call it
Well,
advocacy.
Yeah, and because I had my really bad periods, and then that OB that I was seeing at that time, when he was a man, he put up my, what's it called?
You put two fingers. What? She's like raising two fingers up. I don't know what.
It's kind of like a V. It's a V. It's a
the
IV, not IVF.
No. Gosh darn it! Is it the birth control?
Yes.
Yes. The
like a diaphragm? No.
No.
Oh, an IUD?
Yes.
Okay.
We're both
IUD in the
Okay.
VJ area.
Oh, right.
But anyways, I was having like ridiculous like periods. And he's like, "Oh, it's probably those fibroids that you have. They probably come back." And just made assumptions and all this sort of stuff, and just put that in there. And but I think it was been a whole lot of things.
Yes, I had friends who actually had the IUD. My doctor, multiple doctors said, "Oh, you should get the IUD." I had some family members who got it and had FINO cases. I had other friends who had the same IUD who got depressed, who couldn't get out of bed, who changed their entire mood, and about 2 weeks after it was removed, went back to their normal self prior. So, like, if something doesn't work for you, find the doctor who will advocate for you. It probably won't be that same doctor if they keep fighting you, but find the doctor who will advocate.
If something's not right, or you really, really, really feel like you need something, and if they're not listening to you, there's nothing. You don't need to. You can move on, or you can even find a homeopathic or another alternative medicine. We don't need to be loyal to these doctors. They're human beings too.
Yeah.
And I know, like, from my parents' perspective, they're old fashioned, and they have to see the same doctor that they've seen for 50 years. And even though the doctor's 87 years old now.
Nothing's changed since then.
And they say, "Oh, don't worry about that.
You'll be fine. Just go put a Band-Aid on it. You'll be fine.
But I think there's something to be said to...
Sofie, just put a Band-Aid on your hoo-ha. It's going to be fine. Just kidding.
No.
Just put a Band-Aid. Take out that IUD and put a Band-Aid up in there.
Band-Aid on it.
That guy's never had a period. He didn't know what I was going through.
It's true.
A Band-Aid will hold all that blood.
Band-Aid holds a lot of things, but
I couldn't even wear those big night things. They're huge.
no.
Yeah.
I have some to donate if anyone wants a package. I had to buy a whole packet. Like, why do I have to buy a dozen?
Right. I only need however many. Oh my gosh. Those just put me into like after delivery memories, you know, the big old pads that you wear afterwards.
They don't tell you this shit.
No, actually, I kind of feel like maybe we should share some, we don't have to share like the horror stories, but the real stories.
Our birthing stories.
There are so many books about preparing to get pregnant and what you do when you're pregnant. If my mom hadn't told me some things, I would have been shocked to find out. Like, I had no idea. I mean, I would never have known, like, they massage your uterus so it goes down into the, you know, small size. You don't. I
don't remember that happening.
Yeah.
Really?
So,
do you remember that? So
I had a C-section.
Oh, that must be. Oh, I did too. So they don't do that
if
you have a C-section? No. Okay, no.
No.
Okay,
they cut you open and then.
Yeah, that is.
Oh, she just gave the gesture of a knife. My Lord.
We have just become a rated R movie.
Wives with knives again.
Yeah. Wives with knives.
There's a new definition of a home birth.
Yes, I just feel like there should be a conversation or a few podcasts about the things we thought we knew or we didn't know because, gosh.
But honestly, for me, sometimes it's better if I don't know and then I don't have to have anxiety about what's to come. I mean, you have to wait.
See, I'm the polar opposite.
Okay.
I got to know the info. So when it happens to me, I'm prepared. Maybe, maybe not. But at least I know.
It's hard to be prepared for some of that stuff because some of that stuff is.
No.
Yeah.
I mean,
even just being pregnant was like I thought was mind fucking blowing. Like you see, you know, your whole life. Oh, I'm gonna have babies, blah 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 blah. And you know, my sister and I used to put dolls up our shirts.
Oh yeah,
and
totally.
Giving birth on the play table. Okay, Tam's going to birth. Or Tam's having another baby.
It comes out from under the shirt.
Yeah, exactly. It's true.
But then when you start thinking about it, you're like, oh, there's a fucking human inside me. I feel like an alien.
I know.
That was weird.
If you really think about it, it is mind-blowing how we can grow a human inside of us.
That's crazy.
And sometimes 2, 3, 4, 5 of them in there.
I can't even imagine.
Well, that's a whole other podcast. But
okay, definitely another podcast.
Mind-blowing.
Now, Amy, did you have any surprise other tidbits you wanted to tell us about hormones today?
Not necessarily surprise.
Okay.
I mean, I'm only 2 days into my testosterone, so.
And she has a knife on her lap. No, just kidding. I'm kidding.
I actually felt lighthearted today. I don't know why that is.
You felt what?
Lighthearted.
Kind of lighthearted, you know, like it's not as heavy. I don't know why. Yeah. Yesterday I felt a little bit like more emotional. Some of you did see it on the Instagram. I did go live, but you couldn't really hear me. But I do know a few people watched me have a meltdown on it just because I was feeling emotionally overwhelmed. For me, I mean, I could be physically unwell, but emotionally and mentally, if I'm just having like the worst day, I will lose it, and it won't matter. I was just talking about my day, and all of a sudden I had a moment, and so
I can relate.
Yeah, I was like
a lot.
And maybe I needed a good cry. Like who knows?
Sometimes we do.
Sometimes you do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We should go to a chick flick. We should go on a field trip and go to a chick flick. Okay,
we've talked about that. So
we need to do that. It's past time.
But yeah, I think that's it.
Well, this is good. All right. Well, so then carry on with all of your pills. All of us will. And then we will all be giving updates.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting.
It's going to be good.
I think it'll be good because by the time, I mean, you're first, Sophie's next, and it's been a good while since you started.
Yeah, it has.
Yeah, I've had a lot. Going on.
Yeah, so that'll be good. Okay, yay. All right, well, we shall return. Everyone, thank you once again so much for joining us here on the Real Exes podcast. Now, I did want to put a plug in here that once again, everything we talk about in relation to medicine and prescriptions and doctors and, medical issues, we are just telling our stories of our journey and the experiences that we've had. We do this so in hopes that if someone is kind of searching for a possible solution, they have a direction to go, but we're not able to give medical advice.
No.
So
Yeah, that's good. Well said.
yeah. All right. Thanks again, guys. Here, cheers, Wine Wednesday. And we'll see you next week.
Cheers.
Ta-ta.
Bye.
Toodles.
Hey guys, just a reminder, this podcast is presented solely for entertainment and educational purposes. We are just friends, me, Amy, and Heather. We're not qualified professionals. This is not intended to replace any professional physician, doctor, medical advice, or what have you. We are just friends talking about our experiences and just want to make sure that you take the healthy route and be safe and happy. Love you.
All right. Well, that's a wrap. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. We really appreciate you listening to us, and we look forward to hanging out with you next Wednesday. Please join us. And in the meantime, please follow us on Instagram at The Real Exes Portland. Also, we would love to hear from you and hear some of your juicy stories. You can email us your stories at rxop.yourstory@gmail.com. Until next week, bye.